Hey, y'all. Welcome to Walking the Journey. This is a podcast where we have real talk and real conversations about how to care for your aging parents. And today, our episode is the emotional side of caregiving. So, we're going to talk about all of these emotions that come up, whether we want them to or not, while we are taking care of our loved ones. So, Jeff, what do you think is the most common emotion when it comes to what caregivers feel? Do you
Oh,
have any idea?
I can only speak for myself in caregiving and dealing with everything, but I would probably put guilt.
Yeah.
The guilt of never feeling enough. That's something that I think I deal with. I hope I'm not alone, but sometimes it feels very lonely.
Yeah. No, I think guilt is mine also. I think guilt is the universal feeling that people have when they're caring for their aging parents. And we're going to talk about three. Guilt is top of the list. We're also going to talk about worry and how worry can really infiltrate how well you can take care of your loved ones.
Yeah.
And the one that you just talked about just now, self doubt.
Self-doubt.
Are we doing enough?
And I think they all creep in and form this huge superpower of a bad emotion when they all three get together.
And it feels like an elephant on your chest a
Mhm.
lot of the time, and you can't seem to shake it. So, what we want to do is offer some advice that could help some of those caregivers out there that are feeling these emotions, but really don't want to say it out loud because they feel guilty.
Yeah. And looking at it when we get ready for these things, reading all this, it does help. As much as we as guys, especially, I'm going to speak for the guys half of the room here, but emotions and feelings aren't something we love to talk about. It's not something we want to deal with, the emotional side of it
Yeah.
and how to help yourself get out of there.
So good. Yeah, this might be good for all the guys out there who just push it down. You know what? It's not just guys. I had to go through a lot of work to not push down feelings. Maybe we can help.
Yeah, that's what we're here for. And you don't have to speak, you can just listen.
Yeah.
Sometimes, and I know for me, that works for me, is the ability to listen to someone else's advice and process it on my own time.
Oh, I like that. So before we get into it, I just want to catch up with you. I feel like I haven't seen you in a minute.
It has been a little bit. It's always good to catch up. The reason we started this is because life is busy. It stays busy, it stays moving. So we had Thanksgiving, and now we've moved into the holiday season. Here we are. Christmas music is the only thing playing in my car right now. But my oldest just came home from college. So Kate just came home. She's home for 5 weeks to be here. And this week she has turned into our official errand runner. So it's been nice for a few days now. The first 2 days of the week, she has gone grocery shopping and taken the dog to the groomer. And
goodness.
yeah, she's even going to cook dinner one night.
It's like a personal assistant almost.
I would recommend it for anyone.
One of my friends would say, that's why I have children, so they could do my work for me. You know?
Exactly. The stuff we don't want to do. But how about you?
Things have been good. I'm in a bit of a transition.
Okay.
So I have been able to spend a ton of time with the children.
I bet they love it.
It's been really nice.
Yeah.
It has been. I take them to school every day. I pick them up every day. Today's Tuesday. So we will go to the gym. We'll do our little workout.
Oh, nice.
I know. It's so cute. If it's not too cold, we go out for scooter rides or walks. So I am loving life right now. And I think that just my attitude in general is more open. And I think it has to do with just all the stuff that we've been doing on the podcast.
It is. It's fun. I forgot. I don't think I've told you this story about my mom. My dad and I went last Friday and we took mom out to lunch. We went to Hurricanes Wings and Hurricanes is what we'll call it. We had gone. Mom's in a wheelchair, so we have to get a transport to bring mom. And I was going to meet them there. Dad was going to meet the transport there. And so it's about, we're going to get there at 12 or 12:30. I don't remember the exact time, but we get there and I see Dad's car as I pull in. He's parked down where they would drop mom off. So I walk in the restaurant. Well, there's my mom in her wheelchair sitting at a table by herself. And she's just sitting there smiling. I walk in. I say, Mom, hey, are you here? Is Dad here? Nope, haven't seen him. But now that doesn't go against what mom would say. Mom would say, haven't seen him, and he could have been right there and went to the restroom. But the waitress comes up, she says, no, I haven't seen him. He was here and he went. I don't know where he went.
So he
And
was there.
he was, but he hasn't seen mom. So I call him, doesn't answer. Text him, doesn't answer. Mom's sitting there. Mom's diabetic. She's got dementia. She's got diabetes, but she's doing really health-wise. The waitress said, I already got your mom's drink. And I said, Mom, what did you order to drink? And she said, oh, she got a sweet tea. Mom can't have sweet tea because it's just loaded with sugar, but she loves sweet tea since we grew up. And I looked at Mom for all the moments that they're not there. I said, Mom, did you get here early and you ordered sweet tea? And she just gets the biggest grin on her face. Like she knew she had pulled something over because she had ordered sweet tea. But finally we find Dad comes in and he said, I was parked where they'd normally drop her off. And he said, how did she get in here? I said, I don't know. How did we not see her?
Yeah.
But here she is sitting at the restaurant and ordered her sweet tea. She was as happy as she could be, biggest smile on her face. And we ended up having a great lunch. But it was so funny to see
I wish
her.
you guys wouldn't have shown up.
Yeah.
That way I could have eaten whatever I wanted.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She was getting her sweet tea.
That's so cute. Now, is that like clear? Is that like day to day, or is that just depending on what subject it is? Or is that, do you ever worry that she would just leave the restaurant?
She couldn't leave the restaurant because she's in a wheelchair. She can't, like, she's there. Because she can't really move too much. She's not getting anywhere too fast. You can catch her. But on the,
I'm trying to laugh.
Yeah, no, you can. It's funny. That's what we talk about. We can laugh at these things, but she's not getting too far.
Okay.
Because I'm slow, but I could get her. But when we talk about her clarity, Mom's clarity on long distance is okay. It's short. When she said, I haven't seen your father, he could have been there 10 minutes, 5 minutes ago. And her answer would be like, if you ask her, have you eaten yet? I don't think no one's fed me, but they just fed her. But sometimes like she remembers no one's let her have sweet tea. She can remember.
She loves her sweet tea and she hasn't had it in a while.
Yeah, but her short term is bad.
When you were talking to your dad earlier, you said that you'd like to bring her on the podcast.
Yeah.
So I would love to hear what she's got to say.
She is not a woman of many words these days, but she will sometimes talk. So we'll get her on and see how she's feeling that day. But it will be interesting. You would like to meet her. She was, some of the old mom will come out, like when you have a conversation with her. And it's always neat when the old mom comes out.
So we're going to talk about guilt, worry, and self-doubt. So as far as guilt goes, I saw something that the Alzheimer's Association put out. It says, caregivers who set very high personal expectations are the most vulnerable to guilt and self-blame. So when I think about that, I consider myself a overachiever. Sounds annoying, but I've been told that perfectionism runs in my veins. So I have a high standard of what needs to happen when we take care of somebody, the way the house looks, how we're supposed to do these duties. Everything is supposed to be just right. And I find that guilt sometimes overtakes me.
Yeah.
Am I alone?
Oh, no. And I'm not even a high personal expectations person, but no, I think that's a normal feeling because we expect the best for our loved ones. We expect that we can do it. And then sometimes when we fall short, I think, and we put them like even in another home or someone else is taking care of them. Sometimes I know we put, and I'm speaking of our family, my expectations of how things should be done on them. And then they don't do it. I feel guilty that I've put them somewhere that's not meeting my expectations. Right. Then I lash out at them. And then it's like everything just rolls downhill from the guilt of I'm not doing the right thing.
Yeah, that's heavy.
Yeah, it is. It's hard to deal with when we think. You go with yours. Because I know we've talked about preparing meals at home. And
they have to be just right.
Yep. For me, it's not.
I think that most of the time, guilt is something that we put on ourselves. That's not something that I guess people can make us feel guilty. Really, these expectations are the ones that I have, not the ones that Terry has, or not the ones that are supposed, maybe they are supposed to happen, but in whose head? My own. We're doing this to ourselves. I heard this somewhere and it really helped me, at least. And it's, you're not feeling guilt because you're failing. You feel guilt because you care.
Yeah. Otherwise, why else would you care? Why else would you feel guilty? You love the person. I think we're seeking out what's best.
Yeah.
When you read stuff like that and understand that the guilt is because you love them,
Yeah.
it helps you understand and maybe give yourself a little bit of grace because you're not guilty because you're failing. You're guilty because you just want what's best.
Yeah. Because we care.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think that our guilt affects them in some way, or do you think that our guilt is our own?
I think our guilt is our own.
Yeah.
Back onto the story of my mom being there and my dad not thinking. Dad felt so guilty walking into lunch that he had missed her. Like, how did I miss her? I parked where I should have been. And you could tell there was a guilt level there. He expected something to happen the way he expected. And when it didn't, he felt guilty. She was fine.
She was thrilled to death.
This was a good thing for her.
Yeah.
It took a second, but you could see in my dad, it took him a little bit to forgive himself. And he didn't do anything wrong. He was where he should have been to take care of mom and do those things. Just the person didn't match
Right.
up and didn't work, but she was taken care of. She was fine.
How
But-
interesting.
But so no, when you said, is it mom didn't care?
She didn't care.
She got her sweet tea. She was happy. I enjoy what you just said about the guilt because you care. We worry, do they know we care? Because sometimes that's my worry with my mom.
Yeah. Does she know?
Does she remember? And those are the things you worry that she doesn't.
Yeah, and that's your worry. That's
Yep.
She doesn't. So it's our own too.
Yeah, and I worry about dad. Am I doing enough for dad? We focus so much sometimes on mom because she's got dementia, she's got this, that do we ever take the time to make sure he's okay?
Yeah.
Because he's
It
healthy
not-
as a horse.
So it's not really safety. It's more like spiritually or mind, body.
Yeah.
It's all of it.
All of it.
All of
Yeah.
You read the Bible, so you know that worrying is not of faith or something like that. I don't know the exact quote, but I remembered that worrying is not being faithful. And I think that helps me a little bit. And we'll get to how things can, help in
Yeah.
our next little segment. But I don't know. I always worry that I'm just making the wrong decisions
Yeah.
somehow. Would Terry be happier in assisted living with his peers? Would he be happier if he was at Ben's a little more often? Would he be happier if we were there more often? I don't know. These are things that I worry about. All that self-doubt just really creeps in.
And I think it goes back to you. I always think back to the things that you say because I learn a lot in our conversations. But even just a second ago, you had talked about perfection. When we look at these things and you say, hey, would he be better on an assisted living with people of his peers, or would he be better if we did this more and we did this more? I think understanding there's no perfect situation. We're never going to put our loved one in the perfect situation.
Right.
None of us are living in the perfect situation that we've got to say, hey, what you said earlier in that quote, you're doing the best you can. As
Yeah.
long as we're doing the best we can, we've got to give ourselves that grace of understanding there's no perfect situation that we're going to be in. I always heard it when, you're looking to have kids and you always say, I'm going to wait because the
Till the right
perfect time, the
time.
right time. If you keep waiting for the right time to get a new job, the right time to do this, that right time's never coming.
Yeah, the right time is right now.
It's right now. It's when you decide you want to do it.
Yeah.
And as long as you think you're doing the best you can, it's letting go of those things.
So I've got one more quote before we go on to some ways that we can help. The Mayo Clinic Behavioral Health Department said that worry is a normal cognitive response to responsibility overload. So worry is a normal cognitive response to responsibility overload. Caregivers often feel responsible for outcomes they cannot control. Yeah. So that even just thinking about that makes you feel better.
We're fortunate. You talk about fortunate things, but we live in Jacksonville, that we have a Mayo Clinic right here. And you and I have had the opportunity to visit with the dementia people in Mayo. It's enlightening.
Yeah.
And when you get to talk to experts that have those resources and they can simplify it down to something that I can understand.
Okay, so guilt, worry, and self-doubt are emotions that we're going to feel regardless. If we care, we're going to feel those.
Yep.
So there's got to be some way that we can help ourselves. Okay. We really want to find out what sort of strategies that we can offer, validated tools that we can offer to help combat some of these feelings that we cannot control.
Oh, yeah. It's a great time to talk about these because the holidays coming up. And with holidays here, sometimes there's more guilt. And a joyous time, sometimes there's guilt. Even as a parent, you worried, am I making Christmas great for my kids? Am I doing everything I can? Or the lights perfect? Is the tree perfect? Did I get enough gifts? How many gifts did I get for this kid versus this kid?
Yeah. And then gifts for friends and gifts for
Yep.
family and how much and how many. And it's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's
Oh,
a
we got a
lot.
Christmas card from the Smiths. Oh, we didn't send a Christmas card to the Smiths. So we got to get another Christmas card out. The Smiths have to get a Christmas.
Do you send Christmas cards?
We do send
Oh,
Christmas
you
cards.
do?
We do. I can't take credit
No,
for
of course
Christmas
not.
cards. I did lick the stamps this year, or lick the envelopes this year. And
I didn't get one.
we haven't sent them. We haven't mailed them. We don't
Okay.
have stamps yet.
Can you show us
What?
the card when you
Yeah,
when
yeah,
you get it?
yeah.
Or
I'll
can you
show- I'll
bring
bring
it?
it- I'll bring a card in.
Bring it. Yeah, my sister does cards too, and I can't wait to see hers. She just asked for my address, my new address.
Oh yeah, I need it. Yeah, I don't have your new address.
Okay, strategies. I don't do Christmas cards, by the way. I think reframing is my new favorite word.
Reframe.
Reframing guilt. And I think we can reframe anything. I think we can reframe anything that we're talking about.
Yeah,
We could reframe the guilt, we could reframe the worry, and we could reframe our self-doubt by having more compassion for ourselves. You mentioned that earlier.
yeah,
Having more compassion for ourselves, knowing that we are doing the best we can, and the best we can is enough.
yeah. No one's harder on you than you are. No one's harder on me than I am. I make a lot of mistakes, but I'll beat myself up over them.
Yeah, what is going on in your head?
Yeah.
Like that voice. It's
Yeah.
rude, isn't it?
And it's relentless.
Yeah.
Relentless. But yeah, no, reframing, that's such a good thought to do. It's not easy. And it takes practice. I think that's the other part that I don't understand. Like as a guy, like I read reframing and I read self-compassion and I think, okay, I'll be able to fix that right away.
Yeah.
But it takes time.
It does. And you know what has helped me is as I'm yelling at myself, right? As I'm starting to feel icky inside because of the things that are going through my own head, I say to myself, number one, would I say this to my kids? Would I say this to my husband? Would I say this to you, Jeff?
Yeah.
No. Imagine if I said those things, I would damage them.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
When I start to have that yucky feeling, I start to say, okay, is this something that I would tell my children? So the other thing is, as these feelings are taking over, as this guilt is taking over, instead of berating yourself for those emotions, get curious about them. So instead of saying, oh, I am so stupid for forgetting that I needed to do the laundry or make the bed. Like this morning, I walked downstairs and I'm like, ugh, I forgot to do the dishes last night. I didn't forget. I just didn't want to.
Yeah.
Instead of berating myself for not doing them last night, I just did them. But that's besides the point. The feeling that I had when I was berating myself, I stepped out of that feeling and I looked in and I said, okay, you are speaking in a way to yourself that is damaging.
Yeah.
I wonder why. And so you don't end up feeling that feeling anymore. You end up feeling curious. And then once you start asking yourself those questions, then you can figure out what the root problem is.
And I think as we go down those, and at least for me, when you feel guilty or bad about something, instead of sometimes for myself, instead of fixing it or going the other way, I'll beat myself up enough where I'll just keep going down that path to justify that I've messed up. If you've messed this up, here's the other things you messed up. You're not good. You're not doing these things. And
Yeah. It snowballs on itself.
snowballs. Yeah. That you're going to prove to yourself.
Yeah.
If you keep telling yourself you're not very good at something or you're not good.
Your brain rewires itself to know that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. I'll show you I'm not good enough. I'll keep going down this path.
Yeah.
And why even try to get better sometimes?
Yeah.
And we like to hold ourselves back.
Do you realize that you're doing that?
No, it takes a while. It takes a little bit. I remember I had a coach one time, and this isn't going to make sense. I'm not going to say it the way they said it, but his thing was quit being scared to be great. You're so scared to be great, you're not even being good. You're so scared of failure that you're not letting yourself try to be great at something.
Right.
You've let failure sneak in and keep you from trying harder. The fear of failure has convinced you're not good enough. And that creeps in. I learned it in sports, but it creeps into life.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like, it's there now.
That we keep telling ourselves. We love to beat and say, hey, you're not good enough. We had this failure, therefore I'm a failure. And the coach would always try to say, you failed at this, but you're not a failure.
Would I ever tell my kids that they're a failure? No. You know what I would tell my children? You know what? Let's just practice a little more.
Yeah.
A friend of mine, her son plays baseball with my kids. Shout out Ashley. She told me, because there's a dumb thing we have to do called game changer.
Yeah.
Of course, y'all know what it is. But no one wants to do it because it's scary.
And people yell at the game changer person.
Absolutely.
How dare you give my kid an error?
But Ashley said, don't expect yourself to be good at something that you've never done before.
Yep.
So let's take that advice. Give ourselves some grace, some compassion. And when we're beating ourselves up, when we're feeling guilty, when we feel worry,
Yep.
take a deep breath. Understand that you are feeling that way towards yourself. Get curious.
Yeah.
And then move forward. Just like that.
Just as simple as that. But the other part is you got to listen to the people like Ashley,
Yeah.
who want to build you up. Because there's plenty of people out there that if you ran Game Changer are going to yell at you. They're going to tell you you're doing a bad job at it.
Yeah.
But guess what?
I didn't run it. I just played with it for 1 second.
But
Full
they
disclosure.
never volunteered for it.
Yeah.
The people that love to yell at you and beat you down, they didn't volunteer for the job.
All right. There's this self-compassion researcher named Dr. Kristen Neff, and she says that self-compassion reduces feelings of guilt and improves emotional resilience. So simply acknowledging this is hard and I am doing my best lowers stress hormones. So this is hard and I am doing my best. Try it. Let's try it.
I think you physically have to do it. Like I read some of these things and I think, oh, okay, that's good. And I read it and I dismiss it. But I think putting it into practice and actually when you get in these moments, stopping and say those words, sometimes even out loud.
Yeah. The line that I said earlier, I can only do my best and my best is good enough.
Yep.
Helps when I say that out loud. Want to practice this one?
Do I want to?
Yeah.
All right. So this is hard and I'm doing my best. Actually can refer to this podcast. You always question, but anything you go into is natural self-doubt. Am I helping people? Is this good? In every aspect of life, but especially caregiving for people we care about. Such a great quote.
So self-compassion is not letting yourself off the hook. It's just giving you the fuel to keep going.
And you always hear about self-care. You got to take care of yourself. What is it on an airplane? If oxygen masks deploy, you got to put it on yourself before you can put it on your child, because if you're dead, you're of no good. Though sometimes we've got to understand that if we're not taking care of ourselves, if we're not happy, if we don't love ourselves, how can we show a love to the person we want to the most?
That is so true.
Yeah. So we've got to take care of ourselves and cut ourselves. Exactly what you said. Acknowledge that it's hard and you're doing your best.
And setting realistic expectations that you don't have to do everything.
Yeah.
I don't.
No.
And even though I want to, again, those are the expectations I'm putting on myself to be the best, to be perfect, to do all of these things, instead of saying, boys, children, can you unload the dishwasher for me so I don't have to freak out about it?
Yeah.
Terry, is there any way that you can go get coffee? Because I don't think that I'm going to be able to get it before tomorrow morning.
Yeah. And most people are willing to help. We just don't ask for it.
I think that most of why we're doing this is so we can have those hard conversations. But the more we talk about the hard conversations, the more that I realize that I avoid hard conversations.
Yeah. Who wants to have a hard conversation? I don't think anyone.
I don't know. I think you're pretty good at.
No one wants to. You try to get in there and do it when you have to. And I don't do it well. But the other part, we talk about the
I think you
expectations
do
on
it well.
ourselves, is sometimes my problem is I have expectations for others. And I expect them to know what I need or do what I think they should do without ever voicing it to them. And that's unfair to them. And then it puts me in a bad mood. But having an expectation on ourselves and cutting us some slack, but also cutting the other people.
Yeah.
I can't put an expectation on someone that I've never voiced,
Yeah.
that I've never said, hey, would you mind helping with this? I'm struggling with this. And,
Yeah.
you know,
That's excellent advice.
but it's the
Excellent
whole
advice.
asking for help.
Asking for help.
Yeah. And instead of putting it all on ourselves.
Yeah.
And the other part, this is what I tell my girls all the time, as a life lesson, and they love to tell me I'd beat a dead horse, and I do, is the worst thing anyone's going to say is no. They're not going to get mad at you. They're not going to hate you for asking. They're not going to think poorly of you for asking. They just may say no.
Yeah. If they do think poorly, if they are mad, then that is none of your business. You can't control their emotions.
That's on them.
Yeah.
Being able to ask for help is
Really important. So I think that the last one we'll talk about strategy is understanding the difference between healthy concern and unwanted worry.
Yeah. Woo. Okay. Explain that.
I was looking for you to explain it. If anybody knows, comment below. No, I think that worry is not a faith. Really, the worry, the anxiety, and that perfectionism that I feel, that perfectionism is what causes the anxiety, and that things need to happen right now. That worry, that needs to happen right now. And if I give myself some compassion, take a deep breath, and figure out if I'm setting realistic expectations for myself, then I can come back and be like, okay, am I being rational or not?
Yeah. And I think it's worrying about the things that we can't control, or the way we see things and when they don't fit. You had mentioned the biblical thing about worry and not having faith. And it does talk about faith and that worry. And he talks about, why do you worry about stuff? Look at the birds, I provide for them. Look at the lilies of the field, I provide for them.
Oh,
Why do you think I wouldn't provide for you? The most important thing that I've created.
that makes me feel so good.
It does, but it's so hard because I think, and he's explaining it to you, is you have what you feel is the plan for your life. We all think this is the way things should work. And when they don't work that way, it turns to worry. So it's uncontrolled. To me, worry a lot of times is an uncontrolled, something I can't control.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've got to grasp and
I
hold it
love
so
that.
tightly.
Yeah. So worry is what we cannot grasp,
Yep.
what we cannot control.
Yeah.
And
Faith is turning it over
yeah.
to a higher power
Yeah.
and trusting, that our best, that as long as we're doing our best, things are going to work out. Things are going to be taken care of. Now, maybe not in the way we think they're going to be taken care of, but
They will be taken care of.
yes, like we can't control everything. We've got to accept sometimes, and I think it goes into the caregiving part, is there are things that go on with my mom that are complete worries that I can't control, I can't fix. I can't reverse dementia.
No.
I can't reverse her health problems. And when you put her in a place and you put her in a home and you worry, about those things, instead of saying, hey, I'm doing the best I can control how much I visit. I can control how much I love her. I can control those things, but I can't control her disease state. I can't control how she reacts to certain stimulus. I can't worry about those things. I can't control them, but I can control the things that I can do.
Control what you can control.
Yep.
Yeah. Those are words to live by.
Yeah. And it's hard.
Yeah. It sure
It's
is.
hard. And we all struggle. And then a big part of faith is just understanding that we got to turn worries over.
Yeah.
Worries, like you said, it was like an elephant on your chest.
Yeah.
And we can't move an elephant by ourselves. To remove that off of our chest, we've got to have help.
Yeah. So one quote that we could sum that part up with, which was lovely, by the way. So the one quote that I would like to say is, a good caregiver doesn't do everything. A good caregiver makes sure everything gets done. So there are times where we have to turn it over.
Yeah.
To
and
God,
trust other people.
to other people.
The other part is, as I understand, is I've got my sister is great. She's a nurse. She takes care of mom way better than I do. But it's also the understanding that on that quote is making sure everything gets done. Is sometimes it's not going to get done the way I think it should get done. Is turning that over and realizing that other people have her best interest at heart as well, and they're wanting to help. So it's making sure it gets done,
Right.
but not always having to have it done exactly the way I did. And
Letting
that's
some of it
hard.
go.
That's hard.
That's control too.
Yep.
Letting go of the control is tough, but necessary if you're
Yeah.
going to let some of that worry and stress and guilt go.
Yep.
What ways can we empower ourselves and people out there that are caring for their loved ones? What can we do besides have faith? Maybe some people don't feel that. So maybe that doesn't speak to them. What doing our best really looks like and feels like when you're balancing it all, work and life and kids and family, and then caring for your aging parent.
And you think about, we don't know what's going on in someone else's life. When you have a conversation with them and they let you down or they say something that we think, how dare that person? You don't know what's going on behind the scene. You don't understand it. So when we talk about what doing your best is, it's cutting ourselves the same slack I would cut someone else. Doing your best, you don't know everything that's going on behind the scenes in my life. I don't know what's going on every time in the background of your life. So our best can be different week to week.
Yeah.
With kids, with family, what our best looks like today might not be what our best is tomorrow.
Yeah. And it comes back to compassion for ourselves again.
Yeah.
Or compassion in general for ourselves, for the loved ones that we're caring for, to strangers out in the world. Just that could help us cope with all the things that we're going through. I don't know if that's how we can empower somebody, but
no, it is. And because my dad with my mom, these are the only stories and examples I can bring up, but he'll go through phases of, am I doing the right thing? Did I do the right thing? Was mom where she should be? Because you'll look at ideal. My dad is 84. He's in good shape, but he's 84. And before mom went into, they were living by themselves, but she would fall, and he would try to help her and he would catch her. And they would have this system of, if she rolled this way and I could get her to a chair, and you think that's not the best. And as a son, you hear these things and you think that's not the best. But to him, he was failing if he let her go to a home.
right.
So even now he'll question, is it the best? I think ideal versus real.
And I'm sure his ideal situation is for her to still be living with him and they're aging gracefully together, but that is not the reality.
It's not the reality. And it's not healthy. It would not be healthy for her. Mom is thriving like her health is doing great where she's at. She's in a small home and they take care of her as best she's at. She's been in nice, big, expensive buildings.
Yeah.
But her care she's getting in this house now is second to none. We would recommend it to anyone.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think we talked about it before, but it is a smaller home, 8 residents. I think that you said. That's
just in a
fantastic.
house. You'd never know it was. You'd drive by, it's just a little brick ranch house, but they take such good care of her and her health is
cool.
great. But you talk about self-doubt. How do you do it? And we've got to sit down and talk to him. And this is best for mom. This is best. He visits her every day.
Yeah. And even what you were saying earlier about control is,
Just
not trying to control the environment, not trying to control what you guys are going to do. It's just showing up, being there, not having an agenda, 30 uninterrupted minutes of talking or sitting quietly or singing or who knows, whatever.
And that's all they want most times is just that showing up. And we don't give ourselves credit for showing up.
No, for those small acts.
No, I didn't do anything.
That was bare minimum.
Yeah, I did the bare, but no, that's all they want. I always think about it when I get older. Yeah, I just want my girls to just show up.
Yeah.
Come in the room.
And yesterday especially, I made sure to show up when I got home. And it made a difference.
Yeah.
It made a difference in my well-being and in my loved ones too. I could tell. I really could. So I think that making an effort to show up, you can't all the time. Like you said, sometimes you show up 100%, sometimes you show up 80%, sometimes you can only show up 20%.
Yeah.
But showing up.
It's so huge. And not distracted showing up.
Yeah.
Because I've showed up before at mom's and work's on my mind and I've got my work phone out. And, even though she doesn't really converse a lot, but I think she would appreciate it if I'd put my phone down and just
Yeah.
be there with her.
A lot of the time, we don't know what to do without our phone. Like sitting in silence or sitting in quiet with no agenda is not something that we're used to.
No.
Like we almost have to practice it. It's a practice.
I remember I was at a work convention and it was at a golf resort, real nice resort. And this older couple were just sitting outside. They weren't doing anything. They were sitting outside in the morning, just having a cup of coffee. And I don't think said anything. And for some reason, I talk to people. I don't get why. And I just got into conversation and we were talking about it. And they were commenting, and I don't remember exactly, but their essential comment is people have lost the ability to just sit with someone they love and not have to say anything.
Yeah.
Like they sat out there, probably didn't say anything to each other. And I interrupted it, of course, and interrupted their peaceful morning, but they were so gracious and just saying that this is what we do.
I love that.
That couples have just lost the ability, and I think it's just in everything. We've lost the ability to just sit with someone we love, not distracted, not have to have anything else go on.
Spend time.
Just spend time.
Yeah.
And that's all they were doing.
Right. One more study, John Hopkins' aging study, said that the most impactful caregiving contributions are emotional presence, communication, and advocacy, not perfection. Like you said, just being present in their presence is good enough.
Yeah.
It really is. And when it comes to me and my perfectionism, that is not being productive. It really isn't. I think that dementia care experts say what your loved one will remember or feel most is connection, tone, and safety, not the perfect daily routine. So that one hit me.
Yeah. Tone is so big.
Yeah.
And I get told that a lot by my girls, that my tone is off. Like they read into, like, I don't feel I'm saying something mean,
Yeah.
but it's the tone and a loving, gentle tone when we're with them. I mean, it's just nice. I think it was a conversation.
A loving, gentle tone. Yeah, that's a good reminder.
Yeah. But you had said it, I think, I can't remember when we were talking about this, but just in an evening, like, when everything was quiet, that you had went and poured a glass of wine for yourself and for Jason and for Terry and just sat in the same room. And you don't have to start it. Sometimes just conversation starts that way, and just to be there in the moment.
Yeah. And it does. I find that Terry does start to talk about little conversations.
Yeah.
And it brings some intimacy to the relationship. Ultimately, when it comes down to it, we want all of our lives, but especially our parents, the last part of their lives, to be pleasant.
Know they're loved. Know that they're valued. And what a great example of just a nice, quiet evening, no agenda, just poured 3 glasses of wine and just sit in the same room, enjoy each other. And we miss out on those things. Sometimes we feel like if we're sitting, then things aren't getting done.
Yeah.
When really the bigger thing's getting done. Just time. That's nice. I've remembered that since you said it, and I've always thought that was what a lovely evening.
I'm trying to keep that image in your head so lovely, but we were all staring at our phone.
No, don't run it. No, but you're in the same room.
You're right.
You're in the same room.
And it's not like we were a little distracted, but when a conversation happened, we'd all look up.
Yeah, because sometimes maybe you find that conversation piece on your phone. That's what we're looking for.
Yeah. So I think that's it. I hope maybe it helped you all. Just remembering to give yourself some compassion.
Yeah. Understand you're doing your best.
You are doing your best. You can't control everything. Your best today may look different than your best tomorrow, and that's okay too. If you guys have anything that you would like to add or share, we'd love to hear. Just comment below. I'm Jessie.
Yes.
This is Jeff. And you've been listening and watching Walking the Journey, and we would love to see you here next week.
That's right. So follow, subscribe. Those are the things we're supposed to say?
All of those things.
All those things. So do those, and we would love to have you here.
Yeah. Bye, y'all.